Hello friends, this is Arun. Welcome back to another video lesson from the INTP YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to learn about a special move in chess which is called castling. Let's get started. Castling is a special move with the king and the rook at the same time. So now probably you may be wondering why we need to castle. The castling will give some safety to the king and it will also bring the rook into the action. As you can see here, the king which is on the e1 is subjected to heavy attack from the enemy's pieces. So if you castle, it will give some safety to the king and it will also bring the rook into the action. So for castling, you need only the rook and the king. Okay. So here I am going to castle on the king side. So in castling, there are two types. One is to castle on the king side, which is called castling short, and another one is to castle on the queen side, which is called castling long. So here I am castling on the queen side. Okay. To castle on the king side, what you have to do, you have to bring your king to the g1 square, then bring the rook to the f1 square. So this is very important. You have to touch the king first. Instead, if you bring the rook to f1 first, then it is an illegal move. To castle properly, first you have to bring this rook to the g1 square. In case if you are going to castle on the king side, then the rook to the f1 square. Suppose if you are going to castle on the queen side, you have to bring this king to the c1, then the rook to the d1 square. Okay. So I am going to castle on the queen side here. So here it's a king side castling. The king comes to the g8, the rook comes to the f8 square in case of black. So now we have to know certain rules regarding the castling. So let me explain when you are supposed to castle and when and all you are not supposed to castle. So in this case, the white knight is on g1 and another white knight is on c8. So white cannot castle on the king side because its own piece is on the way, and black cannot castle on the queen side because its opponent piece is in the way. So what white can do, white can castle on the queen side and black can castle on the king side. Next, as I told, you are not supposed to castle if either your king or the rook has moved already. In this case, the white cannot castle on the either side of the board because his king has moved from the e1 to the d1 square, and in case of black, king side rook has moved, but he can castle on the queen side. So in this position, the white king is in check from the black bishop. So white cannot castle now. If white wants to castle, he should block this check. Then after the bishop moves, then he can castle on the either side of the board. So as you can see, he is first blocking the check, then we can go for the castling. In this position, white cannot castle on the king side because his king will be in check after castling. But if white wants, he can castle on the queen side. In this position, white cannot castle on the either side of the board because the d1 square is under the control of the black rook and the f1 square is under the control of the black bishop on c4. So as we know that we are not supposed to castle if our king passes through the check, in this case the white cannot castle on the either side of the board. Here white is playing b3. Once the bishop moves to d5, then he can castle on the either side of the board. In this position, the bishop is controlling the b1 square. So if white wants, he can castle on the king side as well as the queen side. The rook can pass through the attack from the enemy pieces. It is only the king which is not supposed to do so. Okay. In this position, if black wants, he can castle on the king side, but he cannot castle on the queen side because his king will pass through the check. So the rules about the attack, the check, only applies to the king. So here we have a small exercise. We cannot castle on the queen side because the queen is controlling the c1 square. The king will be in check. So I am going to castle here on the white side, and with black I cannot castle on the queen side because the black knight is there in the way. So I am going to castle on the king side. We have one more exercise. I'm going to castle here with white. I cannot castle on the queen side because the rook is controlling the d1 square. So I'm going to do it on the king side. With black, I'm going to do it on the king side again. Okay everyone, if you like this video, please hit the like button, share this video with your friends and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Bye for now.